I haven't done in a while. And I'll be reading some books I haven't done reading. So let's get started. We're going to read the story called What is a Dinosaur? A Just Ask book. This book belongs to What is a Dinosaur? A Just Ask book. Hey, my name is Christopher. He's a mouse. Okay. Oh my! I've never seen anything like this. What is it? I know! It was a dinosaur. A dinosaur. What is a dinosaur? A dinosaur. The word dinosaur means terrible lizard. The dinosaurs were big and frightening, so they looked terrible, but they weren't. But they really weren't lizards. Let me tell you about dinosaurs. Interesting. Dinosaurs lived on the earth many millions of years ago. That's a very, very long time ago. We can learn about long ago from scientists who study the earth. Where did you come from? Hi. Scientists have found things called fossils. Fossils are bones, teeth, or shells of animals that have been hardened in rock. Look at the fossils. So scientists have found dinosaur fossils almost everywhere. So no matter where you live, dinosaurs lived there many years before you. There were hundreds of kinds of dinosaurs. They came in all shapes and sizes, but no one knows what color they were. Dinosaurs could have been colorful with spots and stripes, or they could have been dull and plain. The first of the dinosaurs looked like this. It lived about 250 million years ago. All the other dinosaurs were relatives of this first dinosaur. They came in all sizes. The Codontius. Not me. Looks like me. This one of the giant dinosaurs was about 70 feet long and weighed over 400 tons. Its name means thunder lizard. It may have been named that because it sounded like thunder when it walked. Thunder lizard, Brontosaurus. This dinosaur was the heaviest of all of them. It had long front legs and short hind legs. It would have to have plenty tons of plants. It would have to have eaten tons of plants to feed itself each day. There goes another tree, Brachiosaurus. This dinosaur's name means plated lizard. It had bony plates on its back. 2 pairs of spikes were on its tail. The dinosaur would swing its tail to protect itself from other fierce dinosaurs. This dinosaur walked on its 4 legs and ate plants. My tail is so soft. Stegosaurus. Lambeosaurus, Corythosaurus, and Montosaurus. All these dinosaurs ate plants too. They lived by the water where they could find food. Tyrannosaurus rex, Gorgorosaurus, Ankylosaurus, Corythosaurus. Coelophysis. You have big teeth. These dinosaurs were meat eaters. They used their strong jaws, claws, and large teeth to get food. Triceratops. This one of the last dinosaurs to live on Earth. It had a large horn over each eye and one on its nose. It was about 25 feet long and weighed about 8 to 10 tons. There are no more dinosaurs living on Earth today, but we can see some close relatives in alligators, lizards, and some birds. Ostrich, Gila monster, alligator. Could be my relative, not mine. And now I know what a dinosaur is. Me too. The end. Jules versus the ocean. Jules versus the ocean. Jules is going to make the biggest and fanciest, most excellent castle that has ever been built. Her sister will be so impressed. Maybe the ocean will help. Splash! Nope. Jules will build an even bigger, fancier, more excellent castle all by myself. Her sister will be so impressed. There's Jules waving to her sister. There's Jules trying to build another sandcastle. Splash! Jules thinks the ocean might be out to get her. Her sister assures her this happens to everyone. Sploosh. There's all the other kids making sandcastles on the beach. There's Jules thinking about it. If Jules wants to make the biggest, fanciest, most excellent sandcastle, she will need to keep an eye on the ocean. There's Jules watching the ocean. There's Jules. Splash! Not today, ocean. Enough is enough. Jules will not be pushed around. She will stand her ground. Wait! Where are her feet? It's a trap! No! Bucket! There's Jules calling out for a bucket. How is Jules supposed to build the biggest, fanciest, most excellent castle now? With no bucket and no hope, her sister says the ocean isn't doing this on purpose. Maybe she's right, and who needs a bucket? Jules can't believe it. Her sister is so impressed. This is definitely the biggest, fanciest, most excellent. Uh-oh! Crash. There goes the sandcastle. That was... Oh no. Most excellent. They tell their mom all about the castle and how the ocean wanted to smash it. Mom assures them that happens to everyone. Mom explains how the ocean waves are controlled by lots of things, mostly the moon. Next time, Jules and her sister will have to keep an eye on the moon. For Dad. The end. Trike, bike, and trike. Bike, trike. Bike, and trike. Trike is a rusty little fella, a trusty little fella on 3 worn down wheels. He sits packed in the dusty dark now that Lou has outgrown me. He says, I sure am lonely. Through the years, he and Lulu had braved summer seas, skin knees, and a wet seat, the big street. And the time when Teeny True said, oh, no go? There's Lulu's brother, True. One day the garage door opens. Grum. In rolls a happy young fella, a snappy young fella on 4 spiffed up wheels. Hi, I'm Bike, says the new guy, his streamers waving. Oh, I'm Trike. Trike thinks of his own scratches and patches. There's Trike. There's Bike. Beep toots Bike. I'm a secret surprise. Lulu's birthday, thinks Trike. Bike is for her. Bike blasts past. It's my whoa first time whoops out of the store. Look out, says Trike. Bike pops a wheelie. What a thump. What thump? Bike says Trike, soon you'll meet your rider. Lulu is the nicest. Watch this trick, says Bike, riding through hula hoop. Zazoom zoom. Zazuma zoom. Safety first, says Trike. Back off, old timer, says Bike. I've got a need for speed. Bike and Trike. It's crowded in here, says Bike. Let's open the door. Ball pushes the button, bounce. Grum goes the door. Bike rolls outside. That path looks fun. Let's race, Trike. Alone, thinks Trike, without riders. First one to the woods is the winner on wheels, says Bike. Bike, Trike, and Ball. Trike knows each turn and twist in that path. Bike doesn't. I'll be the champ, yells Bike. Bike says he's going to be the champ. Trike knows all the paths. If I win, says Trike, you have to promise to let Lulu ride at her own pace. Bike nods. Okie dokie pokey. Jump rope forms the starting line. The pom-poms cheer. There's the pom-poms. Jump rope. Trike and Bike. There's Trike and Bike at the jump rope starting line. Whistle blows. Go! 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 There goes the whistle. There goes Bike and Trike. Pedal, 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 pedal. Trike's wheels squeak. His metal parts creak. Bike blows by. Pedal, 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 pedal. Trike pushes harder. Pedal, pedal, pedal. There goes Bike zooming by. The training wheels on. There goes Trike. You can do this, Trike tells himself, for Lulu and the way the two of us flew. Trike catches up the bike. From his handlebars to his wheels, Trike feels a ping and a zing. His bell ring, ring, rings the way it did when Lulu was in the driver's seat. Trike is caught up to Bike. There's Lulu and Trike. Oops, Trikes and Bike's back wheels go bump. Ouch, Bike shouts. Trike stops to help. Are you okay, Bike? Bike suddenly takes off the wrong way. I'm going. Four-wheeling, calls Bike as he heads off-road. A shortcut. Uh-oh. Bike wants to be a four-wheeler Bike. Uh-oh. Dip-dash, Bike's gone in a flash. The cliff! Trike gasps. Bike doesn't know how steep it is. Trike has to head Bike off at the pass. Oh no, Bike's gonna fall over the edge. There goes Trike, there goes Bike. Trike, zip, zip, zips, calling Bike. Hit the brakes! The grass is slick. Trike loses his grip. He tips. There goes Trike. He's trying to warn Bike, but he's falling down. Crash! Bike and Trike crash. Oh no. That was close. Just missed the cliff, says Trike. I guess we both went too fast. Huh? Yes, said Bike. I'm sorry for showing off. I guess I have a lot to learn. I can teach you, says Trike. Trike's going to teach Bike. Bike leans over, streamers dangling. Here, take my handlebar, Trike. I'll help you. Trike chuckles. At least one part of me is new. Which part? Asks Bike. This dead, Bike says. I like you, Trike. Thanks, friend. Ow. Bike has a dent and Trike is his new friend. Bike and Trike ride side by side, one big, one small, two winners on wheels. One big, one small, two winners on wheels. There goes Bike and Trike back. The next day, a birthday, Lulu and True. True gets the Trike, Lulu gets the Bike. Beep, beep. Beep-a-beep. Hop on, beep-a-beep. Ring-ding, ringy-dingy. There goes True, ringy-dingy. There goes Lula. And off they go. The end. The thingy jig. The thingity jig. The thingity jig. One night under the light of a silvery moon, all the bear's friends were deep asleep. But Bear wasn't asleep. He wanted to play, so he wandered off to find some fun in People Town. There's Bear's friends. They all asleep. There's Bear, wide awake. Tap, poke, sniff. Bear nosed around until he found a thingity-jig. There's a thingity-jig. Ooh, there's the couch. There's the town under the moon. It looks friendly. Bear plopped down on its lap. Bingity, bing, boing. The thingity-jig was a springy thing, a bouncy thing, a sit on it, hop on it, jump on it thing. Bear hurried home to tell his friends. Bear's running off to tell him about the couch. Wake up, I found something fun, a bouncy thingity-jig. Rabbit opened one eye. Really? This thingy-jig will be sit on, hop on, jump on it fun, said Bear, and I need help bringing it home. Not now, Bear, Fox yawned. We're sleeping. Wait till morning, grumbled Raccoon. But Bear wasn't sleepy. He wanted to play, so he took matters into his own paws. Oh no, Bear's taking it into his own hands. He'd bring the thingy-jig home all by himself, but how? It was too heavy to carry, too hard to push, but not too big to roll. Smack, whack, smack, wallop, whack. Under the light of a silvery moon, Bear went to work. He clinked and clanged until he built. He's working on some way to get the couch home. A roly-rumpety. It was a draggy thing, a pulley thing, a pick it up, a heap it up, a load it up thing. It was just what Bear needed to wheel home the thingy-jig, but Bear found it impossible to lift the thingy-jig into the roly-rumpety. He dashed home. Wake up, I need your help. Then we'll climb and jump. Jump, Rabbit wiggled her nose. I like to climb, Fox rubbed his eyes. But right now I need to sleep, Raccoon groaned. Rest first, jump later. They all want sleep. Bear doesn't. But Bear wasn't sleepy, so he wanted to play. So smack, wallop, whack, under the light of the silvery moon, Bear fiddled and whittled until he built a lifty uppity. It was a boosty thing, a hoisty thing, a pick it up, raise it up, jack it up thing. There he goes, building again. Bear managed to haul the thiggity-jig onto the roly-rumpety. Yippee-doo! Things were working out, but on his way back, Bear took the zigzag way, and the roly-rumpety got stuck in the mud. Bear ran home. He's going home to get help again. Wake up, Bear shouted. I need your help. Then we'll bounce and hop. I like to hop, Rabbit. I like to hop. Rabbit flicked his ears. Maybe when the sun comes up. Fox leaned back and stretched. Go away, Bear, griped Raccoon. Talking about that couch again. Bear had to play. Nothing could get in his way. He wanted the thingy-jig, and he wanted it so. He wanted it now, so smack, wallop, whack. Under the light of a silvery moon, Bear thunked and thwacked to build. There he's at it again to get that couch. Bear. A pushy poppity. It was quite the contraption. Bear used the pushity poppity to free the lifty uppy that raised the roly-rumpety that wheeled the thiggity-jig all the way home. There you got the couch. At daybreak, Bear flumped the thingy-jig down with a loud thump. His friends sat up with a start. They stared at the thingy-jig, and it started back. They stared at the thingy-jig, and it stared back. This is a thingy-jig, said Bear. You can bounce and hop and leap and climb. You can even do a flip-flop, spring-a-ding-flop. Talking about the couch to his friends. The couch is looking back at his friends. His friends jumped to their feet. Whoopee! They cried. Let's bounce and hop, said Rabbit. Leap and climb, said Fox. And springy-ding-flop, said Raccoon. Springy, spring, wee! Bear climbed and cheered. My turn! Now it's Bear's turn to get on the couch. My friends went to ride on the couch. We need more time, begged Rabbit. Bear waited and watched. He shifted one foot to another. Just a little longer, said Fox. Bear let out a big huff. They wanted more time on the couch. The bear wanted it. It's my turn. Okay. Okay, said Raccoon. We'll get off. Thank you, said Bear. He flopped down on his thiggity-jig. Bingity bing boing. He's pooped out from getting the couch home. Under the light of the golden sun, Bear curled up in the arm of the thingy-jig. Snorty snore. Zzz, zzz, zzz. The end. He fell asleep on his couch. The bad seed. The bad seed. I'm a bad seed, a bad seed. Oh, yeah, it's true. The other seeds, they look at me the way and they say, that seed is so bad. When they think I'm not listening, they mumble, there goes a bad seed. They say, look at all the other nuts and seeds. But I can hear them. I have good hearing for a seed. How bad am I? You really want to know? How bad is this seed? Well, I never put things back where they belong. I'm late to everything. I tell long jokes with no punchlines. I never wash my hands or feet. I lie about pointless stuff. I cut in line every time. He cuts in line every time. I stare at everybody. I glare at everybody. I finish everybody's sentences. I never listen. And I never listen. I do lots of other bad things too. I know why, because I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. He's a bad seed. I just can't help it. Sure, I wasn't always this bad. I was born in a humble seed. I was born a humble seed on a simple sunflower in an unremarkable field. I had a big family, seeds everywhere. We found ways of having fun. We were close. He's a sunflower seed. There's a sunflower patch. But then the petals dropped and our flower drooped. Uh-oh, there goes all the sunflower seeds. There goes the petals. It's kind of a blur. Sunflower seeds delicious, I remember. A bag. Uh-oh, he's going into a bag, the sunflower seed. Everything went dark, and then, there's the seed. It's dark. There's a sunflower seed. It's dark. A giant. Ooh, he's about to eat him. This man is about to eat the sunflower seeds at the baseball game. I thought I was a goner. I thought it was done for. I screamed and hollered, ah! Boop! But I was spit out at the last possible second. So the man got this nut out of the seed, and then he spit him out. I flew through the air. I landed under the bleachers with a huge thud. Thud. When I woke up, it was dark outside. A wad of gum had softened my fall. I felt okay, but something had changed in me. I'd become a different seed entirely. I'd become a bad seed. Here's the bad sunflower seed. A bad seed. That's right. I stopped smiling. I kept to myself. I drifted. I was a friend to nobody. And bad to everybody. I was lost on purpose. I lived inside a soda can. I didn't care, and it suited me. There's the sunflower seed. There's the sunflower seed. They're all beat up. Until recently, I've made a big decision. I've decided I don't want to be a bad seed anymore. I'm ready to be happy. It's hard to be good when you're used to being bad, But I'm trying. I'm taking it one day at a time. Sure, I still forget to listen, and I still show up late, and I still talk during movies, and I do all kinds of other bad stuff. But I always say thank you, and I say please, and I smile, and I hold doors open for people, not always, but sometimes. And even though I still feel bad sometimes, I also feel kind of good. It's sort of mixed, and it's sort of a mix. All I can do is keep trying and keep thinking maybe I'm not such a bad seed after all. Here's the bad seed. There's the seed opening. There's the seed holding the door for the peanuts. And there he is. He's changing. The sunflower seed's changing. He's trying to change there. Hey! Look, there goes that bad seed. Actually, he's not all that bad anymore. I heard that. There goes sunflower seeding. He said he heard all that. There's the corn seed, corn nut seed, and there's the pistachio seed. The end. I don't know what seed that is. There's a cashew. Cashew and a coconut. There's a cashew nut. There's a coconut. A family of pistachios. Oh, those are the inside of sunflower seeds. Acorn. Pistachio. Peanut. I don't know what that is. The end. 1, 2, peep. 1 peep hops down Bunny Lane. 2 peeps splash in springtime rain. It's a bunny and a chicken peep. 3 peeps march in a parade. 2 chickens and a bunny. 4 peeps search for Easter eggs. 2 bunnies, 2 chickens. 5 peeps pick a sweet bouquet. 3 chickens, 2 bunnies. 6 peeps have fun on Easter Day. 3 chickens, 3 bunnies. The end. And there's the finger peep. A Tale of Peter Rabbit. Once upon a time there were 4 little rabbits, Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. They lived with their mother under the root of a big fir tree. My dear, said Mrs. Rabbit one morning, you may play in the fields, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Run along and don't get into mischief. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who were good little bunnies, went down the lane to gather blackberries, but Peter, who was very naughty, ran straight away to Mr. McGregor's garden and squeezed under the gate. First he ate some lettuce and beans and radishes, then he went to look for some parsley, but whom should he meet but Mr. McGregor? Mr. McGregor ran after Peter, calling out, "Stop, thief!" Peter was very frightened. He had forgotten the way back to the gate. He lost one of his shoes among the cabbages and the other shoe among the potatoes. Peter ran and ran right into a gooseberry net and got caught by the large buttons on his jacket. Peter shed big tears. Some friendly sparrows heard him crying. "Oh, please try to free yourself," they said. Mr. McGregor found Peter, but Peter wriggled out just in time, leaving his jacket behind. Peter rushed into the tool shed and jumped into a watering can. Mr. McGregor began to look for Peter under each flower pot. Then Peter sneezed, "Kerchoo! Kerty-shoo!" said, and Mr. McGregor was after him in no time. But away ran Peter. After a time, Peter was so tired that he began to wander about, looking lippity, lippity, lippity. He found a door in a wall, but it was locked. The old mouse was running along the stone doorstep, carrying peas and beans to her family in the woods. "Please, mouse, which way to the gates?" asked Peter. But the mouse had such a large pea in her mouth that she could not answer. She only shook her head at him. Peter began to cry. Peter wandered until he came to a pond where a white cat was staring at some goldfish. She sat very, very still, but now and then the tip of her tail twitched. Suddenly Peter heard the noise of a horseradish scratch, scratch, scratch. There was Mr. McGregor hoeing onions, and just beyond him was the gate. Peter started running as fast as he could go. But Mr. McGregor caught the sight of him at the corner, but Peter was able to slip under the gate and was safe at last into the woods outside the garden. Mr. McGregor hung up the little jack-in-shoes for a scarecrow to frighten the blackbirds. Thank you. Peter never stopped running until he got home, where he flopped down upon the nice soft sand. Now what has Peter done with his nice jacket and shoes? His mother wondered. I'm very sorry to say that Peter was not very well that evening. His mother put him to bed and made him some tea, but Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail had bread and milk and blackberries for supper. The end. One, two, Winnie the Pooh, accounting book with flaps. 1, 2, let's count with Pooh. Count the things in Pooh's cupboard. 1 honey pot, 2 bowls. 3, 4, who's at the door? Count the balloons and butterflies. 3 balloons and 4 butterflies. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, let's play Pooh Sticks. Count the sticks and count the frogs. 5 sticks, 6 frogs. 7, 8, what's behind the gate? Count the cabbages and the carrots. 7 cabbages, 8 carrots. 9, 10, counting is fun with friends. Count 9 honeybees, count 10 friends. The end. Oh my, dinosaurs. Oh my, dinosaurs. Dinosaurs happy and dinosaurs sad. Dinosaurs good and dinosaurs bad. Dinosaurs big and dinosaurs teeny. Dinosaurs smooth and dinosaurs spiny. Dinosaurs weak and dinosaurs strong. Weak and strong. Dinosaurs singing a dinosaur song. Dinosaurs cold. Dinosaurs hot. Hot, cold. Dinosaurs cute and dinosaurs not. Ugly, cute. Dinosaurs early, dinosaurs later. Dinosaurs crammed in an elevator. Dinosaurs all crammed up. Dinosaurs in the morning early. Dinosaurs later. Dinosaurs plump and dinosaurs lean. Dinosaurs red, blue, yellow, and green. Fat and lean. Dinosaurs look right at you, so say goodbye because we're through. Bye-bye. The end. Just a school project. We are having a science fair at our school, Miss Kitty said. We're each supposed to do a special project. The tiger was going to do his about rocks. Gator was going to do his about stars. Gabby was going to do hers about horses. Everyone had an idea except for me. I told Mom I needed an idea for my project, so she took me to the library. The librarian showed me the science section. There were lots and lots of books, and they gave me lots and lots of ideas. First, I made a rocket ship, but no matter how hard I tried, I didn't fly to the moon. Then I decided to dig for dinosaur bones. I dug and dug, but all I found was one of my dog's chewing bones. After that, it was time for lunch, and there, right next to my sandwich, was a caterpillar. Mom, Dad, I shouted, I know what I'm going to do my project about. Caterpillars. Mom says, yeah. Dad helped me look up facts about caterpillars. Did you know that a caterpillar starts its life as an egg? When it hatches, it eats leaves and flowers all day and all night long. So I went outside and hunted for caterpillars. They were hard to find, but I put the caterpillars in a special box with some leaves and some flowers so they would have enough to eat. Dad and I went to the store to get poster board, markers, and glue. You sure need lots of stuff when you do a project. I wrote my report on poster board, but I wrote a little too big. Dad had to go back to the store to get more poster board. Oh no. Then I drew some pictures of caterpillars and glued them to my report, but the glue was too sticky. Did you know that a caterpillar gets bigger by splitting its skin down the back and crawling out into a new skin? A week later, it was time for the science fair. Everyone brought in a project. I set up my poster board and opened up the box with the caterpillars in it. And did you know what? A whole bunch of butterflies flew out. That's because caterpillars turn into butterflies when they grow up. It was the best science fair project ever. The end. Arthur's Christmas Cookies. Arthur's Christmas Cookies. It was Saturday before Christmas. It was the Saturday before Christmas. Mother and Father were shopping. Violet was making a napkin holder for Mother. Arthur was watching the snow fall. I was making presents too, said Arthur. I made a wooden lamp for Father, but it would not stand right. I sawed off one side to get it even. But I sawed off too much. Now it won't stand up at all. Why don't you buy presents, said Violet. You could use the money you were saving. Well, I only had 52 cents, said Arthur. I bought 2 Slim Jims for 20 cents and a Big Buddy for a nickel. Then I was thirsty, so I got a 10-cent soda. After that, I got a Lola Lola Finola comic. The last 2 pennies fell out of my pocket. They rolled into a crack on the porch, and now I can't get them out. "2 cents is not enough for presents anyway," said Violet. "I know," said Arthur. I made father a clay paperweight," said Violet. "I dried it in my easy bake oven." "Maybe I could try to make something else," said Arthur. "If you let me use your easy bake oven, I could bake some cookies." "You don't know how to make cookies," said Violet. "Yes, I do," said Arthur. "We learned how at Cub Scouts. I can make Christmas cookies for Mother and Father." "I will make a special one for you," said Arthur. "All right," said Violet. She ran to get her oven. Arthur tied an apron around his waist. Then he got the measuring cups and the rolling pin, the cookie sheets. "I do like baking cookies," said Arthur. "You don't have to saw cookies. You don't have to worry about getting cookies to stand up. They are good to eat." "Here is my easy bake oven," said Violet. "Remember, you promised to make a special cookie for me." "I remember," said Arthur. "I will make you a special reindeer cookie," Arthur called. "Norman, come on out." "Arthur," called Norman, "come on out. Let's have a snowball fight." "I can't come out," said Arthur. "Why not?" said Norman. "I'm baking cookies." "Now?" said Arthur. "Can I come in?" asked Norman. "Can I lick the bowl and the scrap paper?" "I'm not making that kind," said Arthur. "What kind are you making?" asked Norman. "I'm making Christmas cookies, the kind you roll out," said Arthur. "I'm making stars and angels and bells for Mother, Christmas trees and Santa Clauses and reindeer for Father." "And you said you'd make a reindeer cookie for me," said Violet. "I know," said Arthur. "Let me help," said Violet. "It's my oven." "I will let you and Norman get the flour and the sugar and the butter," said Arthur. "But I will make the cookies by myself." "All right," said Norman. "Where is the flour?" "It's next to the glass jar of sugar," said Arthur. Norman took down the glass jar of flour and the jar next to it. "Now there is nothing for me to do," said Violet. "You can get the butter," said Arthur. "All right," said Violet. Arthur mixed the butter and sugar into a bowl. He put the flour too. He patted the dough into a large ball. "Here is Wilma," said Violet. "Can she watch you bake cookies?" "My big sister bakes cookies," said Wilma. "She puts in raisins and nuts, sometimes chocolate chips." "I like that kind," said Norman. "And I like oatmeal cookies, ginger cookies, and the little sandwich cookies with cream in between." "Well," said Arthur, "I'm making plain sugar cookies." "I like plain sugar cookies," said Norman. "So do I," said Wilma. "Move back, Violet," said Arthur. I can't roll out the dough without mashing your nose." "It's Wilma," said Violet. "She's pushing." "You pushed me first," said Wilma. "I'm pushing back." "Watch out!" yelled Arthur. "Now look what you did." The ball of dough fell on the floor. It rolled under Norman's foot. "It's still good," said Norman. "Just a little dirty." "That does it," said Arthur. "All of you get out, please," said Violet. "We'll be nice if you make us each a special cookie. I will make hot chocolate and we can have a before Christmas party." "Can I have a Santa cookie?" asked Norman. "Me too," said Wilma. "All right," said Arthur, "but no more pushing." Arthur rolled out the dough flat. He cut some cookies for Mother and Father, the special cookies too. He made a Christmas tree for himself. Then he put the cookie sheets into the Bake Easy oven. Bake Easy oven. There he goes. Now I will make hot chocolate, said Violet. Put some marshmallows in it, said Norman. My big sister puts whipped cream in hot chocolate, said Wilma. For Christmas parties, we stir it with candy canes. We don't have any candy canes, said Arthur. When will the cookies be done, said Violet. Then they all looked inside the oven. The cookies don't look done, said Norman. They look just like they did when you put them in. Well, said Arthur, I think they will be done by the time the chocolate is ready. Arthur got the cups and saucers and spoons. When he put a marshmallow in the bottom of each cup, Violet poured hot chocolate and the marshmallows floated to the top. Arthur went to get the cookies. They look just like they did before, he said, but they feel hard when I push down on them, so they must be done. Arthur put the special Santas and the special reindeer cookies and the Christmas trees on a plate. Now we can have our before Christmas party, said Violet. Norman's Santa fell on the floor, but it did not break. My Santa? Asked Norman. Because mine is still on the plate, said Wilma. It's always mine that falls on the floor, said Norman. Uh-oh. Norman took a bite of Santa's hat. What is the matter, said Norman. What's the matter with Norman, said Violet. Norman's mouth is funny. You have to be careful when you eat these cookies, said Norman. My loose front tooth came out, but I never got a bite of a cookie. Oh, no. Arthur tried to bite into his Christmas tree. Something's wrong, he said. This cookie is as hard as a rock. My sister's cookies are never hard, so I wish I had one now. I don't understand, said Arthur. I made the same dough. We made it at Cub Scouts. I'm licking mine, said Violet. It tastes salty. Oh, no. These are salt cookies, said Norman. They're as hard as rocks. Arthur looked at the cookies. Then he looked at Norman. Norman said, I think I gave you the salt instead of the sugar. It's not fair, said Arthur. My presents never turn out right. My lamp would not stand. My cookies are like rocks. Nothing I made is any good. He began to cry. You cut the cookies right, said Violet. They look nice. You know what, said Norman. My mother makes clay with flour and salt and water. These cookies are made of flour, salt, and water. Arthur has baked clay cookies, clay angels, and bells and stars, and Christmas trees, and Santas. I made a clay paperweight, said Violet. I'm painting it blue. Arthur stopped crying. He wiped his eyes and blew his nose. He drank all of his hot cocoa. Then he thought for a while. Maybe I could still use my cookies, said Arthur. Maybe I could paint them in all different colors. You can't eat clay cookies, even if they are different colors, said Wilma. They would not be for eating, said Arthur. They would be for Christmas tree ornaments. Mother and Father can hang them on the tree. They will have my presents every Christmas for a very long time. Arthur blew his nose again. He got out his paints and the tape and some hooks. Everyone watched Arthur paint the cookies. He painted the angels pink, the Christmas trees green, and he painted the bells gold and the stars silver. Then Arthur taped a hook to the top of each cookie. Wilma said, I'm going to paint my Santa and put it on our tree. I'm going to paint my reindeer too, said Violet. I like Arthur's ornaments better than the ones in the store. They are not bad, said Norman. They are kind of nice. Yes, said Arthur. They are kind of nice. I made a good present after all. Everyone had more hot chocolate this time. Arthur put 2 marshmallows in each cup, and when they were done, they all helped clean up the kitchen. But Arthur wrapped his Christmas presents for Mother and Father by himself. The end. Animals. Under the sea, octopus, starfish, fish, crab, jellyfish. In the forest, dragonfly, butterfly, owl, bird, snail, squirrel. In the jungle, bird, monkey, tiger, snake, butterfly, chameleon. In the garden, caterpillar, ladybug, worm, ant, mole, rabbit, bees, snail. In the house, cat, goldfish, canary, dog. The end. Smile, pout, pout, fish. Smile, Mr. Fish, you look so down. With your glump, glump face and your pout, pout, frown. No need to be worried, no need to be sad. No need to be scared, no need to be mad. How about a smooch and a cheer up wish? Now you look so happy. What a smile, Mr. Fish. The end. Baby loves coding. Choo-choo! Here comes the train. Blue, yellow, green. Where is the red car? There it is. Baby can get it. Baby takes 3 steps to the right, 3 steps forward, and 3 steps to the left. Baby takes 3 steps all by himself. Hooray! Baby always follows the same steps to get from the rug to the toy box and back again. This pattern of steps is called an algorithm. The train follows an algorithm, but who tells a computer what to do? A programmer writes an algorithm in a language the computer can understand. The language is called code. Go, choo-choo, 3-minute, stop. The computer reads the code and follows the steps in the algorithm. Baby can listen to music, eat a warm lunch, and play a game, all because computers are reading and following code. When Baby pushes the button, the code tells the computer to make the train move. There goes the train. Choo-choo! The end. Who Whose toes are these? Whose toes are those? Whose toes are those? Whose toes are those? Who do you suppose has such fine toes? So brown and sweet, who could have such darling feet? 10 little loveys all in a row. Whose toes are those, do you know? Tell me, won't you please? Tell me, whose toes are those? Are these? This little piggy went to the market, this little piggy stayed home. This little piggy went all the way to England, this little piggy chose Rome. This little piggy sang her own sweet song, all these piggies must surely belong to the girl with the sparkling eyes and that cute button nose. Why, those toes are your toes. How? Now everyone knows. The end. Happy birthday, Boots. It's a special day for Boots, his birthday. Mommy bakes Boots his favorite chocolate cake. Daddy gives Boots a super present. Boots watches a puppet show with his friends. This clown is so funny. Oh, look, it's Mommy. It's time to break open the piñata full of treats. Happy birthday, Boots. Make a wish. The end. Alistair and the Alien Invasion. Alistair Griddle was a most unusual boy. There was no one else quite like him. Ow. He was a very well-dressed bear. Every morning he pressed his shirt and his jacket as well as his socks and his shoelaces. He was polite and well-mannered. He never left school without thanking Mr. Funwinkle for giving him homework. He was also a boy genius. He read his first set of encyclopedias when he was 3 years old. He won his first annual Twinkadilly science competition with his formula for invisibility at the age of 5. By the time he was 8, he had already been to the moon and back in a spaceship he built in his basement. There was no question about it. Alistair was not an ordinary boy. Then one day Mr. Funwinkle gave Alistair's class quite an interesting science project. I want you to bring the most unusual plant you can find, he said. So Alistair did what any boy genius would do. He got into a spaceship and set out to find the most unusual plant in the universe. Alistair was rounding the turn at Venus, making very good time through the Milky Way when he saw a spaceship filled with aliens heading toward Earth. He was just about to tell them one of their taillights was out when all of a sudden they shot a large beam of light at Earth. Alistair was a bit concerned, so he turned his ship around. When he got home, he was not surprised to find all the people of Twickledale floating upside down in the sky. It was just as he suspected. Earth was being invaded by aliens. Alistair did not have time for an alien invasion. He was in the middle of a science project, but he knew that he could not let the aliens take over Earth, so he made himself invisible and went to spy on them. When Alistair found the aliens, they were beaming up plants of every kind into their spaceships. It was unlike any alien invasion Alistair had ever seen. Alistair was quite curious about the aliens, so he threw himself into a beam of light and went aboard one of the ships with a couple of petunias. On board, Alistair found the aliens studying all the plants they had taken. He was very pleased to see they were organizing and naming them. The aliens were in the middle of studying some crabgrass when all of a sudden Alistair's formula for invisibility wore off and Alistair became visible again. They thought Alistair was the most unusual earthling they had ever seen. He was far more interesting than planet life. The aliens wanted to know everything about Alistair, so they invited themselves to his house. On the way home, Alistair spotted one of his classmates. He could see they had already found their plants. When Alistair got home, he introduced the aliens to his parents. The aliens asked Alistair's parents many questions about Alistair. The more the aliens learned about Alistair, the more they wanted to know. They were delighted when they discovered the Grittle family photo album. Every time they came to a picture of Alistair, they asked if they could keep it. The aliens spent most of that day and evening in Alistair's room. They fed his octopus, they licked stamps from his stamp collection, they tried a few of his chemistry experiments. Soon it was late and Alistair was tired. He hoped the aliens would leave, but the aliens did not want to leave. They wanted to sleep in Alistair's bed. The next morning, Alistair got up quietly. He wanted to leave for outer space to search for his planet without the aliens, but the aliens heard his steam iron and woke up. The aliens had other plans that morning. They wanted to see Alistair's school, but school was closed. The aliens were very disappointed. They had wanted more than anything to go through Alistair's desk. As they returned to their spaceship, the phone rang. The aliens were sorry they hadn't turned on their answering machine. It was the leader calling. He was wondering what was taking them so long on Earth. They were supposed to be on Gutula by now. The aliens did not want to go to Gutula. They were having too much fun with Alistair, but they could not be impolite to their leaders, so it was agreed they must move on. Before the aliens left, Alistair asked them to bring everyone down from the sky. Science projects due today, said Mr. Funwinkle as he touched the ground. Alistair did not know what to do. He had not even begun to look for his plant. It was going to be the first time in his life he was late with his homework. Uh-oh. Then, to Alistair's surprise, the aliens gave him a present. We found it on the planet Balulu. Balulu, they said. It's a cadoodle, the most unusual planet in the universe. Alistair was very happy. He had not realized how well-mannered the aliens were. It was time for the aliens to leave. They hugged Alistair goodbye. Alistair could hear them crying inside their spacesuits. Then the aliens left Earth. It was a great day for everyone in Twickadil. Alistair finished his science project on time. Mr. Fundle Cadoodle from loved the Cadoodle from Balulu, and Earth had been saved from an alien invasion. No one was surprised, however, that Alistair had saved Earth. After all, he was a most unusual boy. There was certainly no one else quite like him in the entire universe. There's more Alistairs. The end.